Welcome one and all, I'm Decoy, back in Grounded, and we're doing something a little bit different today. Someone requested that I do like a little tips video, and this is what I came up with so far, so hopefully you don't hate on me too much. So we're going to start off with base location. Maybe you're not happy with where your current base is, or you don't know exactly where you want to build. I highly suggest considering the pond, because there are a ton of useful resources nearby. The only major drawbacks are the spiders that come out at nighttime, which are specifically the wolf spiders under the tree, and the grass. It's a decent ways away, so you gotta go chop down grass, run all the way back, and trek back and forth, back and forth. But aside from those two things, you have a ton of resources. You got plenty of husky weeds out here, and they give you a bunch of stems. Just something to consider. Personally, I love this spot. It's where my base is at in my normal mode of the game. And you can totally build a little lily pad village out there and just go crazy with it. Another cool thing is if you build a bridge out onto the lily pads, the spiders that hang around out here at nighttime, they can't really get across the bridge. They just get stuck at the end of it, and you can totally sit there and shoot them with arrows and murder them. Now let's talk about the Zipline Tower. This is a pretty simplistic build, but it will take a bunch of resources to put this thing together. Now, what I like to do is I take one of the little stem scaffoldings, and I will just build straight up. And then off beside it, you'll go stairs, a corner floor piece, stairs, corner floor piece, and just work your way up. Now, how high you want to build it is completely up to you, but I highly suggest making it really tall, because it's going to matter later. But when we get up here to the top, take a brief little break from talking about the zipline aspect, because I was also requested to talk about base layout, and I really don't think that's quite as important. You can set it up however you like and how you want it to be. I personally, major suggestion, have a bunch of spinning wheels. My base in the survival mode of the game has 7. And there are times that I wished I had more than 7. But I've got by. Because when you go starting to build zip lines, you are going to need a ton of silk, which you will use a spinning wheel, and you will put basically spider web fiber into it, and it will churn out silk. Now, another cool thing, I highly recommend getting you a dew collector. One item that's not quite necessary would be the jerky rack. It's useful, it's cool, but it is not a necessity. But hey, you can throw like your little cooking spit right underneath it. Free up a little bit of space. And of course, one thing I highly suggest is having a trail marker at your camp to help you find your way back. But now, let's get to talking more about the zip line, because it is by far one of the most useful things you can build in the game. Now, when you build a zip line, the piece you build can be both a sending and receiving piece. It's not like they're two separate pieces. And of course, when you're in the menu, you can toggle between the different spots you can send it. But now let's head off to the other end, because one thing I really want to stress is that building a zipline tower super high is kind of important. And then picking your drop-off location, I would also suggest making it fairly high up. That way you can then send a line back from that one back to where you came from, or at least close by, or you can send it wherever you want. But that way your zip line, it has more use Alright? It's more useful to you. I mean, I could have just sent someone over here and left them there, and it's their problem. But being able to go to wherever you want and then be able to get back on the zipline highway is super useful. Because you just, wherever you build your base at, build you a massive zipline tower. And then if you need blueberries or something, you can build a zipline that takes you over to blueberries and back. That way you're not having to run all the way across the map to gather supplies. But now let's talk about how you get the zipline. Because I'm sure some of you might be struggling trying to figure out how to unlock the zipline. First thing I want to warn you, you're going to need 7,500 science to purchase it. But down in the bottom right corner of the map, you have this little flooded swamp pond looking thing. Really, it's a giant mud puddle. But out here in the water, there's a can. And straight over from the can, you got the little tiny shovel. I know that's not what it's called, but I mean, compared to me, it is a giant shovel. Then you want to run straight back from it. Luckily, right in this area, there's not a ton of spiders. But be warned, when you're going through this place, if you fall off, there's a good chance there's a bunch of spiders underneath you. But work your way up this twig, then head on up. There is a little science outpost here. I'm not going to go into what's in here. I don't want to run that for you. But what you're going to need to do is venture through this entire bush and make it to the laboratory at the other end. And basically beat the laboratory to unlock zip lines. Just be prepared for combat. You're going to be dealing with a lot of spiderlings and some orb weavers. But that pretty much wraps up everything I've got for you today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Please remember to like, sub, and share. Later.